Hey guys, back with John.
Hello.
And I posted in the update video that we will be starting a series where he does tag videos that I've done in the past. And if I ask him a question and it's like an update for me, then I'll answer with him, but for the most part it's just going to be him. And the first one is going to be the TMI tag. I asked if he would do this one and he said he didn't have a problem with it. So, question 1 is, what are you wearing?
Just a black kind of like half elastic kind of. I don't even know what the kind of shirt it is, but it's very stretchy material, very comfortable, and just a pair of
If you saw the Christmas video that we did where he showed his gray sweatpants, that's
yeah.
what he was on.
They're like a pair of cargo sweatpants, and I love it because they're nice and loose and comfortable, and they have a very thick lining on the inside, so my legs don't get cold because I've got poor circulation in my legs. So they're very handy.
Yeah, I've got kind of poor circulation in my feet, so I can relate. Question 2. Ever been in love?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of why I'm here.
Question 3. Ever had a terrible breakup?
Not necessarily. I only had one girlfriend before Anna, and really,
That was Isabel, wasn't it? Was that her name?
well, no, me and her were just really close, and then
Okay.
but it was one of my best friends, that from basically we went to elementary school together, and I just kind of started feeling like, she's more of a sister to me than anything else, because it was really hard for me to get much closer to her uh, than I thought it would be. So, I mean, we just kind of decided that it would be better if we just stayed friends. And so we still had a pretty good relationship because every time we saw each other, we'd give each other a hug in the hall because, we were just close friends. So,
Alright. Question 4 is, how tall are you?
I want to say close to 6, like 6 foot. Last time I measured, I don't remember the exact number. I want to say it was like close to 5'10" or something like that. So I don't remember the specifics, and I've probably grown because I apparently have already outgrown my older brother, who was significantly taller than me back when I was in high school.
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause I'm actually 5'6".
yeah, and I'm definitely several inches taller than her when she's standing.
Yeah. This one you don't necessarily have to answer. I did, and most females don't. Question 5 is, how much do you weigh?
Uh, Last time I checked, I was like 260, 270. I'm working on it right now because both me and my I guess psychiatrist have agreed that it would definitely help with some of my anxiety and um, social anxiety issues if I worked better to like work on my weight and be healthier. And I definitely agree. And I've been going out and walking almost every day, depending on when it rains. And I've changed up my diet a whole lot. Like I've essentially cut my sodium intake in half, and I've been adding a lot more fruits and vegetables to my diet. So.
I'm gonna combine question 6 and 7. Any tattoos or piercings?
No, and honestly, I'm a big wuss when it comes to like any kind of needle near me, so I don't think I'd ever be able to.
Yeah, 'cause I know you were gripping the chair pretty hard last time you had blood work.
Yeah, like I had to get blood drawn to like because it was just some kind of regulation for the state that I get blood drawn to make sure I'm taking my anxiety medication. And so when I had my blood drawn, I had my eyes closed as tight as possible. Like I was holding my breath almost the entire time. Like my mother had to remind me to breathe, and I was practically ripping the arms off the chair. I was holding on to it so tight.
And see, I've had it done so many times now that I can still carry on a conversation with the technician.
Yeah.
So, question 8 is OTP.
It's really hard to say because I have a lot of characters that I think are really good pairs together.
Right.
So I'm trying to think of the most recent one that I think it'd probably be, this is me just showing how much of a dork I am. I've been listening to a lot of Vocaloid stuff.
Yeah,
And
because
so,
you linked me a few stuff.
yeah, and so there's two of them that I don't know how new they are. They're probably like a couple of years old by now. Called IA and One, or Ia and One, or I don't know how to pronounce the second one's name, but they're,
I'm trying to think. I want to say it's I,
no,
with Japanese pronunciation.
no, well, Ia is the first one, and then I don't know if one is Oni or One or something like that.
Oh, okay, I get you.
But they're both basically almost mirrors of each other. One's like a little bit more perky and has very long hair and is very very sweet looking, and her vocal range is a bit higher, and that's Ia. And then One has, or One, I know I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, so don't crucify me for it.
Yeah, we're not sure.
I'm too much of a white boy to really understand some of the answers or some of the names. But the other one has a lower vocal range and is more serious. And
was that the duet you showed me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's one song in particular that I really really love. It's called Into Starlight, and it's fantastic. Like, if any of you have some spare time and are interested in Vocaloid or like any kind of digital style music, I really suggest looking it up because it's really good.
Yeah, and I know I do have people overseas that do watch me. There's one that subscribed to me a long time ago. I don't know if she still is or not, but she's actually from Japan, so she's probably familiar with it.
Right.
And question 9 is favorite show. He doesn't watch too much TV anymore, though.
Yeah. I have to say, well, all right. Favorite TV. I'm gonna put this in two categories just because it's a lot easier for me.
Right.
Favorite TV show I've watched so far is NCIS. And my favorite show that I've seen that I've just watched using the internet is called Pandora Hearts. It's an anime.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And it's got kind of like an Alice in Wonderland kind of theme to it, and it's really interesting. It's got a lot of mind bending elements, and it's just all around fun. Plus, the musical score is fantastic.
I will agree there. The music is pretty good. Question 10 is favorite bands. Let's do band/groups. Make it easier.
I'm trying to think. It's kind of a tie between Guns N' Roses and Bon Jovi, just because I really like classical rock and stuff like that, like old fashioned rock. But that's again, I have numerous different genres that I really really enjoy. So I mean, it's a long list of ones that I listen to and really like. Like, there's a J-rock band that I've really gotten into called Man on a Mission.
Yeah, I remember you linking me a few of their stuff.
Yeah, and they're just all around fun to listen to because they're very high energy, very fast paced music. It's pretty fun. Plus, I mean, they go on stage wearing wolf masks with different expressions, so it's they've got a sense of humor. Yeah, well, some of them are actually kind of funny looking.
Question 11 is something that you miss.
That's hard to say because a lot of the stuff that I used to do that I don't do anymore, I just kind of grew out of.
Right. We can change it to a person too.
Well,
if it makes it easier, because I know I did that when I did the tech video.
I think the biggest thing. Well, all right. I guess I'll go with what you did. The person that I miss the most is my stepdad Rick, who passed away like about 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And he, like, this is probably gonna come in again later on another tag question, but he taught me pretty much everything that I know about being a good person. Like, he came from a broken home, a very bad place, You know, I mean, he's had plenty of stories about like getting put through walls by his own stepdad and things like that, and he still came out being a fantastic person. He was kind, he was smart, he could make anything out of anything. He was a carpenter, he was a painter, he was a cook, he did everything you could imagine. And he definitely taught me how to be a much better person than I was before I met him. So
Yeah, 'cause that was after Christmas 2014, because that was the first time I went over there
yeah,
that I met him. And then I remember you mentioning what had happened when I got back. Question 12 is favorite song. That's always a hard one for me.
Well, it's especially hard for me because I listen to a whole bunch of things. It's probably pretty much anything from the Dragon's Dogma soundtrack, because that's like, I love the big sweeping orchestral scores from like games or movies and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for me to fall in love with music that's got a lot of big grandiose kind of sound to it.
And mine has actually changed from the last time, because I'm pretty sure mine from before was like an anime theme or whatever.
Yeah.
Currently, mine is Hobgoblin by CLC. That was the song I was listening to when you were coming back from the bathroom.
Yeah.
K-pop track. They're a fairly new rookie group. And to be honest, the song reminds me of how 4 Minute used to be. It reminds me a lot of Gravy.
I just realized your robe is kind of throwing off the white balance on the other side.
It's also the light right there too.
Oh yeah.
Because I have it pointed this way instead of up at the ceiling.
Yeah, like if you're wondering why her arm is kind of like blending into the wall, it's because she's got a lamp over there that's kind of pointed at her, so it's making it a bit brighter on that side.
Yeah, because normally I have it pointed towards the ceiling, but to make it easier for both of us to see, since my room tends to get dark, I just had it pointed towards us.
Yeah.
Question 13 is, how old are you?
I am, I believe, 23. You see, this is the thing.
No, 22. You'll be 23 October.
Okay, yeah, so I'm 22. I'm horrible with remembering my own birthday.
Because we're 2 years apart. I turned 25 this year, so you'll turn 23.
Yeah. But it's kind of embarrassing because I think it was 2 years ago I forgot that it was my birthday, like the day that it was, and everyone had, like, the week before had been talking about it, and I just suddenly I woke up and completely blanked. It was it was embarrassing, but at the same time I still look back and it's like, yeah, that's me, all right. I have a terrible memory.
Yeah, I think the only way that you would have remembered is the fact that I was like texting you about it.
Yeah, you texted me like right as soon as I woke up, and I was like, "Holy shit, you're right." Oops, sorry.
It's okay. It happens. You've been doing good though since you've been recording with me. Yeah. It's only the second time you've slipped. So.
Yeah, I've been trying to do better, but sometimes it slips because it's just part of my regular vernacular.
And it happens. There's been times that in past recordings that I've since deleted, I've slipped. So, question 14 is zodiac sign. Do you know that one?
Libra.
There you go. Okay.
Scales of justice.
And mine is Cancer. And then
the crab.
Yep. Question 15 is quality you look for in a partner.
Putting up with my nonsense.
You're such a goof.
I'm definitely serious. She puts up with more of my nonsense than anyone that I can ever think of. Because, I mean, I'm so used to goofing off and goofing around with a lot of my other friends that are online, and, you know, even my own mother, you know, we talk and goof off like complete goobers. And so the fact that she puts up with it when, you know, we only get to see each other once every couple of months, I'm very thankful for her.
Well, to be fair, you put up with a lot more of the medical than I ever imagined anybody would.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're important to me, that's why.
Yeah, because if you guys have watched my medical story, then you know everything in a nutshell. And that's a story and a half. which is why I'm never going to refilm that video ever again.
Yeah.
Because even I had forgotten some stuff Mama told me and had to put it in the download.
Yeah.
And question 16 is favorite quote.
It's very silly, but one of my favorite quotes is actually from Doom. It's "rip and tear," because it's just a very primal thing to think of when you're facing like insurmountable odds.
Right.
You push through and you just do not give in. You unrelentingly push through the obstacles. So
I can see that. Question 17 is favorite actor.
gosh, I can't remember her name, but she I'm trying to think. She was in Resident Evil, and she was like one of like the Hispanic soldiers, like the female Hispanic soldier that was.
I'm trying to think, 'cause I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember her name, but I really like the spunk and attitude she brings to pretty much any film that she's in. Because I want to say she was also in Avatar as the pilot.
Oh, okay.
And so just any kind of, well, yeah, her and Nolan North, because he's gone on record as like one of the many actors that actually has a really good sense of humor about his own work.
Right, I get you. Question 18 is favorite color.
Definitely blue.
Yeah, I was thinking the tie between blue and black.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like black as a neutral color, but when it comes to like anything that I want to be themed with like a specific color, it's always going to be blue and white, just because it's more of a royal looking color, so it looks nicer to me.
Yeah. And question 19 is loud music or soft music.
It really depends on the time, because like if it's midday, then I'll blast my music in my headphones all I want. But if like I'm winding down, getting ready for bed, I'll turn it down a bit and just have it kind of as background noise while I'm working on something.
Yeah. Question 20 is where do you go when you're sad?
Nowhere. I go to my room because I'm always in my room.
Well, we can twist the question a little bit. Is who do you turn to? Let's phrase it that way.
Well, I turn to you for the most part, but there are some times where, say you're asleep and I don't want to wake you up, and I'll just, I'll talk to some of my friends and I'll just kind of like blow off steam and, stuff like that. But definitely Anna, for the most part, is the one that I talk to the most when I'm really bothered by something.
Yeah. And question 21 is how long does it take you to shower?
Between 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the length of my hair.
Yeah, because right now he just got it cut.
Yeah, because when my hair grows, it really it grows like a weed. So it grows like an extremely curly weed. So it's very difficult for me to get like deep down in there to make sure that I don't end up with like super dry scalp or anything like that. And a lot of times I end up with it anyway, but I think that's because I need to change the brand of shampoo that I use.
Yeah, didn't you use Tresemme for a while?
I still do.
Oh, okay.
But I think they've changed their formula of the type of their stuff that I use.
Right. Okay.
And so it's left, like a lot of times it's left my head a bit more itchy. But again, that could also account to the weather changing as drastically as it does. So I don't know.
I was thinking you could try like the Head and Shoulders itchy scalp care thing since you mentioned that. Question 22, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? The question's in the morning, but I'm just going to say when you wake up, because he wakes up around lunch sometimes.
Well, a lot of the times if I don't have anything to do, I'll wake up around 11 to 12. But if I have to be up, I'm usually like, I have this weird thing where my body wakes me up like 10 minutes before my alarm goes off. And so I'll just like flop out of bed and then I'll quickly change into whatever clothes I need to wear for the day and then go brush my teeth, and then, I'll be pretty much awake by the time I've gotten my teeth brushed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take me more than like 15 minutes at the most.
Question 23. Ever been in a physical fight?
Um, not a serious one. I do remember one Halloween I smacked a kid with a big stick, but it was a moldy stick, so when it hit him, it cracked over his back, and so it didn't really hurt him, but it surprised him more than anything, and it surprised me because I thought I had actually broken like a full solid stick, and then when I looked at it, it's like, oh, it was covered in mold. And it was a really stupid thing. Like, me and my friends were goofing around, and one of them, did something, did something to make me mad, and so I just kind of swung it at him, just as a mild threat, and then he kind of like dove forward for whatever reason, I guess because he was trying to like pick something up,
Yeah.
and it whacked him right across the back.
Question 24. Turn-ons. Like, in a significant other.
I don't know, like, like most of the things that I like is really mostly non-physical things. I guess if I had to choose,
It's physical and personality.
Okay. Well, definitely someone who's able to put up with me, able to put up with some of the stuff that my I had to throw something off over into the trash, and I didn't want to get up. And just definitely really patient and gentle, which is kind of why I'm here with this one. And in terms of physical things, just in general, is long dark hair.
Which is why during the summer he does not like when I have to cut my hair.
Yeah, it makes me very sad.
But he understands why.
Yeah, I always love like the elegance of really really long hair, and so a lot of the times, because well, it's gonna sound silly saying this in this way, but I collect character designs on a particular art site. I'm not gonna say which one. Well, just for safety of the video.
True.
And so most of the time when I'm looking for a female character to have as like a reference for something, like if I'm just kind of scribbling out a short story and it's like I really would like to have a visual reference to continue this if I want to. They usually have very long, like almost back length kind of hair with like long bangs and stuff like that. Just because I really enjoy the very pretty, elegant look of that. It's not to say short hair isn't pretty, because I do like some short hairstyles. Like there's definitely quite a few that I think are very cute, but it doesn't have that same elegant quality that long hair does, because it's not like long and sweeping and very flowy and things
it's
like
more
that.
of a cutesy factor with shorter hair.
Yeah.
Type thing. Okay. Question 25 is turn offs.
Smoker, snide, full of themselves, rude, standoffish. Pretty much any negative quality. Just because I don't like negative people. They really bring me down, because I can't remember what it's called. Empathetic.
Yeah, you're more. No, I'm trying to think.
No, apathy. No, apathy is when you don't really have any feeling one way or the other.
Right.
Empathy is when you feel the same. I have.
Because I thought it was sympathy that made you feel the same.
Well, I think sympathy is a different word, but
okay.
I have a type of personality that essentially I soak up any kind of emotions that are like sort of in the air around me. So, say I'm around other people and I'm just kind of doing all right. I'm not feeling one way or the other, and then someone gets like super mad. All of a sudden, I just start feeling really, really anxious and angry, and not happy about anything. Whereas if someone energetic is around me, then I'm more than happy to have energy and smile and tell jokes and things like that.
Yeah. Like anytime I get pissed about anything doctor related, he gets he'll feed off of that energy.
Yeah.
So, especially after my freaking neurologist, but I'm not getting into that.
Yeah.
That's a tangent and a half. Question 26, the reason you joined YouTube.
The reason I joined is, one, because I liked the videos that I started seeing when YouTube first started. I thought it was fun and interesting, and a very good medium for people to have different outlets for their creative wants. And the reason I started a channel and why I want to start recording as soon as I have a proper recording software. But I'm still doing research on finding out which one's the better one and which, with the best affordability.
Yeah, if you guys have any suggestions on that, leave them down below so we can both look.
Yeah, because right now I'm stuck between Fraps and Shadowplay, because they're both gaming, game recording type and streaming type software. But the reason I want to start my own gaming channel is because I want to be a lot like my two biggest YouTube heroes is Jacksepticeye and Markiplier, because they're both huge striving forces for just being good and having a positive attitude and all around trying to make the world a better place.
Yeah, especially Mark, to me.
Yeah. But that's one of the things I want to be able to do with my channel when I finally get it off the ground, is even if it's just, providing some source of entertainment to, brighten someone's day when they're having a bad time. Even if I can make one person smile, I'll count what I do as success. Good grief, I can't speak sometimes.
It's okay.
But, that's one of the big things that I really admire about Mark and Jack, is that they both they don't care about the money that they make when it comes to YouTubing. What they care about most is their community and making sure that they harbor a community of understanding and being open with each other and helping other people that are in need.
Right.
So, and that's what I want to be able to do.
Because I know there was one of you, and I can't remember which one, that had said that you kind of marathon my videos with your aunt. You know who you are if you're watching this. Which I do appreciate the support, because it is not easy to keep up 3 videos a week.
Well, it's also not easy to get up in front of the camera and, just talk. Because a lot of people say, oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is, look at the camera and say things. It's not. It's a lot of work to be able to get up and talk in front of a camera that that is going to be, the video is going to be open to hundreds of thousands of people. And, and at any time someone could judge what you say, and, it's not something that's as easy as everyone makes it out to be.
Yeah.
I've had my YouTube channel for over probably about 2 years now, and I've just recently started getting up the nerve to start trying to record. So it takes it's going to take a lot of getting used to, but I want to be able to make it happen.
Yeah, and I did have semi-practice with an old channel that I'd actually gotten locked out of, which is why I started this one. Which I have it in the About Me tab on my channel. For those of you that are interested in the old videos, you can actually see my mom walking in the background of one of them. Even though she doesn't like being on camera, but that was back when I was recording in the dining room and not in here.
Yeah.
She is still being frustrating when it comes to wanting to be on camera, and I know you guys want us to do the meet my mom tag, but she is so adamant about not wanting to do it.
Well, I mean, some people just aren't comfortable being on camera, so.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here going like, if you know who did it, then you can do it. I mean, geez.
Well, I mean, you just gotta be patient, sweetheart. It'll be fine.
Question 27 is fears and fears.
Spiders,
That's a given.
huge storms, and pretty much any kind of bug, regardless of whether it's harmless or not. And I know it's silly because I wanted to be a pilot when, well, I still kind of want to be a pilot, but I have a fear of heights.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember the spiders because there was one time we were staying over, and I went to the kitchen to grab the raid, and you were like, "What do you need that for?" And I said, "There's a spider, and you ducked in the bathroom."
Yep, I hid like a wuss.
And question 28 is the last thing that made you cry.
It was actually rather recent. We had to have our pit bull and our oldest cat put down because they both, the pit bull had gotten bitten by another dog and the leg got infected, and we there was really nothing we could do. Like, he wouldn't eat, he would just throw up every time he ate, and so he got to the point where he really couldn't even stand. And we did everything that we could to try and get him to be better, but it was just one of those things that you can't really stop it if it happens.
Yeah.
And our oldest cat, who was probably about 13 years old, had basically chewed a hole in both of his back legs.
Yeah,
and they had,
what the heck?
And because he's constantly hiding all the time, we didn't know it until it was way too late.
Right.
And so they had gotten severely infected, and there was, like, the vet even suggested that it would be better to put him down because he would be miserable for the rest of his life if they even did anything.
Yeah.
So that, that both of those happened in the same day, so it definitely hit me a lot harder than I thought it would have.
It didn't help that it was Halloween either. I say this because your cat was black and white, and 9 times out of 10 on Halloween, solid black cats are hunted and killed on Halloween.
Oh yeah, but they're not outdoor cats.
No, but in my opinion, that just made it worse.
Right.
Question 29. Last time you said you loved someone.
Like 40 minutes ago.
Before we started recording.
Yeah.
Question 30 is meaning behind your YouTube name.
The meaning behind my YouTube name is really, I just wanted to name it after a name that I consistently use on my gaming platforms. And it's kind of a mouthful. It's Snowfall Night Gaming. And I combined my two favorite things, which is snow and essentially, like, medieval knights, because I really like the whole theme of them, like the heavy plate armor and, the honor that comes with the title and things like that. And so I just sort of kept it because it's like, well, I mean, if that's what I'm going to have my name as every other gaming platform, then why not make it synonymous?
True. Question 31 is last book you read.
It wasn't necessarily a book, but it was a comic, and it was the Pearl of Pandaria.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had started playing World of Warcraft for, I don't know, like maybe a month and a half ago, and there was an event where if you play Heroes of the Storm, which is another Blizzard game, which those of you who aren't aware, World of Warcraft is made and owned by Blizzard. And so one of their other games, Heroes of the Storm, they were having an event where if you play 15 matches with friends, you unlocked a special mount. And so I found a Pandaren character in Heroes of the Storm named Lily, who is, just a very young, adventurous girl who wants to basically see the world through an unbiased eye.
Right.
Which is, I really like that idea of a character, and her gameplay style is just really fun because she's a healing support, but she's got moves that can help deal extra damage and stuff like that. and she's just all around a really fun character to play. And she's, the voice actor they chose for her really works, and the voice lines. It's definitely shows that she's very young because she gets very distracted and he's like, ooh, a flower and things like that, and it's just cute and fun, and I really enjoy the character. So when I found out that they had a comic based on her and her first adventures off of her homeland, I was like, oh well, I kind of want to see that because that sounds interesting. So, reading about how uh, the world that Warcraft's based in, Azeroth, how it's seen through a child's eyes who doesn't know, what, who doesn't have a bias against either side of the war that's going on in the story.
Right.
So I thought it was fascinating and fun, and I enjoyed reading it.
Question 32 is book you're currently reading.
None right now. I'm trying to decide on what I want to read. Because since I've gotten into WoW, I really enjoy the story and the world that they've built it in. But they've got so many books, I'm trying to decide where to start from.
Right.
And a lot of them cost like $15 on Amazon. I'm just like, but I don't want to pay $15 for it. It's expensive, and it's for a paperback. If I'm gonna get it, I want a hardback.
Which hardbacks are like freaking $30 now.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy.
And question 33 is last show you watched.
Last show that I watched and really paid attention to.
This morning when you were chewing.
Yeah, it was this morning. We were watching
Flea Market Flip.
Yeah, and some of the people were taking these really nice dark wood fixtures and like furniture pieces and covering them up with like some of the ugliest cloth material I've ever seen in my life, or painting over it, which I'm just like, just refinish it with the lacquer. You'll do so much better. And of course, as I thought it would, the ones that painted over like the really nice dark wood did not sell anything.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, yep, kind of serves them right for ruining such really lovely furniture.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of when it comes to interior decorating, I'm kind of a snob. Like I usually prefer wood finishes rather than painted finishes. Just because it feels a lot nicer and a lot homier than it does if you just paint over everything.
Question 34 is the last person you talked
to. This one.
Well, also on phone, because didn't you talk to Dakota?
Yeah, my best friend, who's essentially like a brother to me, Dakota, I was talking to him last night because he forgot that I was going out of town. And he was asking what my highest level in WoW was because he was trying to catch up since he works most of the days of the week.
Yeah.
And I think for those of you who've played WoW, you'll understand the significance of this. I'm level 8, like 86 or something like that right now. And that's just doing quests and stuff like out in the world. I don't do any of like the PvP stuff. In fact, I kind of frown upon PvP outside of either the battlegrounds arenas or fighting someone who's not your same level. But that's a whole rant that I won't get into unless you want me to.
You can always make that as a talkie video for your channel.
Yeah.
Ranting about that.
Yeah, I probably will, because I'll probably end up I'm gonna look into if I need any kind of like rights to post videos of me just playing WoW and having fun. Just kind of have a moment to just talk to the viewers while I play.
Well, I think as long as you don't have monetization turned on, you're fine, because a lot of the songs that I've done that I've gotten copyrighted for, I don't have monetization turned on, so those can still be posted. If I turn it on for whatever reason, those have to be taken by its owners or deleted.
Yeah, well, again, that's why I got to do my research, because I know that a couple of YouTubers that I watch, one in particular by the name of Sunday, he was showing that he was doing some PvP stuff, or player versus player for those of you who don't know. just in case. I'm covering all bases. I'm not trying to be rude.
No.
Like, I don't want to be that snob that just goes, oh, in case you didn't know what this means.
No.
But,
it's just, some people are familiar with gaming terminology.
Yeah. So. And so, you know, he was doing videos of him, you know, doing player versus, what?
I was telling them, sorry, my eye was itchy.
Oh. But it was a video of him doing player versus player stuff with one of his other friends. And I don't know if there's a way to check and see which ones they've had marked as monetized or not, you know, so I don't know if that's what he did or, you know, if there's licenses that I need to read, which, you know, if so, I'm more than willing to read them, because if it's going to be something that I can do to, you know, just, because I can play that game mindlessly and, you know, talk at the same time.
Yeah. I think it's, as long as, I think they just check to see if you have monetization turned on. If you do, then they'll, when they flag it, it might be something that needs to be taken down. But if your channel is labeled for it being turned off, there's no penalty.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works. But I could be wrong. Question 35 is the relationship between you and the person you last texted.
Well, I mean, like I said, Dakota he's a brother to me. He's one of the few friends that I've had that I managed to maintain from back in high school, and me and him, you know, play games all the time, and, you know, me and him, there's been times where he's gone out of the way to, like, buy a game for me so that me and him can both play it together, and vice versa, because I think the last game that we both played together was Far Cry 4. Yeah. And I bought him his copy because I was like, well, you know, it's got co-op, so why don't we just goof around on that?
Yeah, didn't he offer Resident Evil 5 for you?
I think he either got Resident Evil 5 for me, like, way back when, or he offered to get it for me and forgot that I had it.
Okay. Or maybe it's Resident Evil 6.
No, yeah, it was Resident Evil 6.
Because I know he had messaged you about that when I was over there for the week about
because we were trying to decide what the next game that we wanted to play was, and then we saw that Resident Evil 6 was on sale for the holidays, and so if memory serves me right, he got me a copy because I was waiting until after Anna's visit was over to make sure that I had, you know, to see if I had enough money left over, because, you know, I spoil her whenever
you guys know
I see
this
her.
If you ever see the What I Got for Christmas videos with some of the stuff that he's gotten me, and also the what you got me for my birthday last year.
Yeah. So, like, I spoil her whenever I see her, because, you know, we only get to see each other once every few months. So, you know, I like to make up for lost time and, you know, make sure that she's got things that she can either use or stuff that she needs. Like, a lot of the times we go and get you things like like when you're out of the hand sanitizer things.
Yeah, we'll get some of them.
And, you know, the candles to help, you know, that you use to help you relax and stuff like that. And I like, here's the big thing. A lot of you people, like, if any guys are watching this that are, you know, having trouble trying to figure out what kind of gifts to get your significant other, just make sure it's something practical. Like, as long as it's something they can use, you're solid.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I'm not gonna go out and, you know, buy her like a life-size statue of a chicken, because she's not gonna have any use for that. As adorable as it would be, she doesn't have a use for it.
Yeah.
So that's just one of those things. As long as the gift is practical and they can use it, then you're good.
And or something extremely sentimental.
Yeah, that too, but I think that falls out of the practicality thing.
Question 36 is favorite food.
It's hard to choose because I like a lot of food.
He's a foodie.
Yeah. Well, I got it from my stepdad, Rick, because he taught me that, you know, just because I didn't like something when I was younger doesn't mean that I'm not going to enjoy it later on in life, because I believe it's like your taste buds change every 10 years or something like that.
That's about right.
And so, he convinced me to try all kinds of stuff that I never would have before. Like, I tried crawfish for the first time, and, he's the one who taught me how to crack them open and how to shell them. And they were actually pretty good. So, he taught me to try things before I judge them.
Yeah.
So, like, the only things that I don't really like are like bitter greens and things like that.
Mm.
And okra, unfortunately, like I've tried to enjoy it. Like I've tried to I've tried it at different places, and it's just I can't make myself enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I think if I had to choose my favorite food, I'd say it's probably calamari, just because it's.
I was fixing to say that's probably up there for you.
Because it's such a blank slate. Because the squid really has no flavor. Like it's just, I believe it's just the hood of the squid that they usually serve. They like.
It varies restaurant to restaurant. I think 9 times out of 10 it's just the hood, but sometimes
it's the hood and the tentacles.
If the customer requests all of it.
But it's such a blank slate because it's essentially flavorless, but it's if it's cooked right, it essentially melts in your mouth. If it's cooked either too long or not enough, it ends up like rubber bands and you're just chewing on it for like 10 minutes. But because it has no flavor, it's the perfect boat for like any kind of sauces that you want to try, or things like that, because the blank flavor that the squid lacks is going to soak up the any kind of sauce that you put on it. Like there's this one place close to where I live called the Marietta Diner that used to have this buffalo calamari. When they either could put crumbled blue cheese on it, or they can drizzle like a ranch sauce on top of it, and it was fantastic. It was such a good mix, especially because they used properly what's the word properly seasoned breading. I don't know why I blanked on that.
I blank all the time.
And I know I get very wordy when I answer some of these questions, but I
you guys get to know more about him this way.
I like to talk when you can actually get me to open my mouth.
Question 37 is place you want to
visit. Probably Venice, because it's one of the biggest art capitals of the world. So I want to see all of like the original art pieces made by some of like the greatest Venetian artists.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Like almost anywhere in Italy, really, because Italy was a big place for Renaissance discovery and things like that.
Yeah. Question 38 is last place you
were. Last exotic place I was Jekyll Island.
Back in 2012 with us.
Yeah. Because I don't get out much because I'm legally blind, so I can't really go anywhere without transport. And transportation is expensive, and I'm cheap. So I don't really go hardly anywhere like super fancy or exotic. Like the only times I really leave the house is either when I'm coming to see Anna for a visit, or every weekend I try to make sure that me, my mother, and my older brother all get together to have like a family time, like even if it's just going and getting lunch or going out and getting groceries to help my brother, because he just moved into his own apartment not but a couple months ago.
Yeah, which is actually a nice place. I got to see it when I was there.
Oh yeah, it's a really nice place. It's it's just a single bedroom apartment.
Bathroom layout reminds me of a freaking hotel. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but the only thing that I don't like about that house is the bathroom layout, because he's even told, my brother has told me a story about one day after he had a little too much to drink, when he was out drinking with one of his friends, he got stuck in that doorway. Like he did not turn to the side like he was supposed to try and get in the door. He got stuck because the doorway is so abnormally small. Like, the doorway is meant for a toddler. It is that small.
It's a pretty small doorway.
Yeah. So, like, that's the only complaint that I have about that. Well, besides the staircase, because it's a really steep concrete staircase with, like, no lights. With no lights.
Yeah, like, because on the way out when we were leaving, I had to use the flashlight from my phone to help us get down.
Yeah.
Because even I couldn't see.
Yeah. So, those are the only couple of complaints, because that place is really, really nice. So, that's what I'm trying to say.
The only thing that I have an issue with is the whole card system thing.
Oh, yeah, they have an entrance it's... Good grief, I am stuttering a lot, and I apologize.
Is it like a keypad type?
Yeah, they have one of those things like where you have to punch in a number, unless you have a key card, like that pretty much everyone in the neighborhood is given. But since me and my mother don't live in that complex, we don't have a key card. And so we have to punch in a number, and then it'll send a signal to the person's phone, or like either their home telephone or their cell phone, usually their cell phone, because that's a lot easier to keep track of.
True.
And then they push a button, and then it unlocks the gate, and the gate opens automatically. But the way they situated the gate is that the hill is like that, and the gate is like right there.
Which is so stupid.
So if you've got a line of people trying to get in, you essentially run the risk of someone getting impatient and trying to back out and like go in through one of the other entrances and end up hitting you. And it's a really dumb way to set it up, because it's got this kind of incline, and then shortly thereafter it's a flat flush.
Yeah.
And so they could have easily moved the gate back where it's flat, so that way you don't have people risking getting in accidents trying to get into your complex.
Yeah. That part I just found dumb from when I was there watching as we were trying to get in.
Oh yeah, like it makes me absolutely like racked nervous, because I rather would not get into a car accident in a place like that, because there's really no way for anyone to get in and out to try and like pull to the side to get out of the way.
Yeah.
And not to mention people are just outright rude. So
this is true. Question 39 is, do you have a crush?
Well, duh.
Question 40 is, last time you kissed someone? Before we started recording.
Yeah, before we started recording, yeah.
Question 41 is, last time you were insulted?
I mean, that's pretty much every day when I'm talking to Dakota.
Well, that's like playful way.
Yeah, like a genuine insult, I think, was I was playing Overwatch, and because I play the healer, I wasn't like I can't really do any kind of fighting.
Yeah.
And so I was asking one of our heavy hitters to try and protect me while I try to get up close to the front lines to heal some of our attackers. And for some reason, he felt the need to call me all kinds of expletives that I will not reiterate, because even you would not want me to say them on your recording.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Yeah, people in competitive play can be so rude.
Yeah, that's why I stopped playing competitive, and I just play like regular arcade mode where you just play against random people.
Oh yeah. Question 42 is, favorite flavor of sweet?
That's a tie between watermelon and strawberry. I hate any kind of artificial banana.
So do I. Question 43, do you play any instruments? Or did you play any instruments?
I used to dabble with guitar a little bit, but I wasn't very good. Like, I definitely was not very good, but it was also because I didn't spend enough time practicing. One instrument I did enjoy playing was I played cello in my band class in middle school.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed the sound that it made, and I actually started learning how to play, but eventually it just kind of fell out of practice because I couldn't really. Well, my dad could have easily gotten a hold of one, but I was just kind of afraid that if he spends the money on that and I lose interest, I was afraid that he would just be disappointed in me and this, that, and the other thing. This was before I discovered that I had anxiety problems, and so I wasn't medicated to handle something like that.
Yeah.
Like, I was always concerned that I was going to be judged by anybody.
And for those of you that don't know that are new, I used to play flute back in middle school. Although I remember giving mine to my cousin Sydney, which said she wanted to try flute. We figured it would be easier to get for mine instead of her mom having to pick one.
Yeah.
Question 44 is favorite piece of jewelry.
We have these matching pop rank key necklaces that I essentially use kind of as like my own version of
mine, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, mine has a darker, like almost midnight blue stone, and hers is lighter.
Yes, there we go. It's not wanting to stay still on me here. There we go.
Yeah, but we have matching ones of those, and I kind of use that as my engagement ring because I don't have the kind of money to spend on a separate one so that we both could have matching ones.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it's a sentimental thing because we both have one and they're basically matching. The only difference is mine's darker because I like the darker hue of the stone.
Yeah. Question 45 is the last sport you played.
Soccer. I used to really enjoy soccer when I was younger, and now I just can't care less.
And I used to enjoy volleyball back in the day, but it's like the last time I even enjoyed it was back when I had this YouTube, and I was always scared to get bumped.
Yeah.
So I sat out during dodgeball because people would aim for right there, and I'm sitting here going, freaking breaks.
Yeah, the kids are cruel.
Which is why the coach let me be referee 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So I can still be part of it. Question 46 is last song you sang.
Well, I don't want to say it because it's a surprise for you that I've been practicing.
Okay. Wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever actually be good enough to want to actually do it, but I'm practicing it.
This one is really random. Favorite chat up / hit on line?
I don't really have one because most of them are really stupid or corny.
Yeah.
And most of the ones that I can think of are really like inappropriate gamer ones. So I'd rather not say them.
Well, I'm gonna skip 48, which is have you ever used it?
Oh.
Talking about the line.
The answer would be no.
Question 49. Last time you hung out with anyone besides me?
I'm trying to think because it was like almost a year ago. I went and had lunch with Dakota because I was feeling kind of bad because we hadn't hung out in a while, and now that he's got a job and he plays D&D with some of his friends, which again, if any of you don't know what D&D is, it's Dungeons and Dragons. Because just they wanted to goof around and have fun with stuff that they could make up on the fly.
Yeah.
So
I know Steven from Steven Plays does D&D streams on Twitch a lot. So
I've kind of like often been debating to ask if I can join, but at the same time I'm just like I would be too antsy over there around a bunch of people trying to tell like describe actions and things like that.
Well, the only other issue is Steven's in Myrtle Beach.
I'm not talking about that.
I thought you were talking about D&D.
Well, I am
joining his D&D.
I'm talking about Dakota.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not going all the way to Myrtle Beach. I don't want to go to Florida. You got your mind?
I got confused. And it's South Carolina, not Florida.
No, I thought Myrtle Beach was Florida. Yeah, well, either way.
And then the last one which I don't know if you know of anybody that would actually do this. It's who should answer these questions next.
I don't know anybody because I don't really know anybody that does video recording.
Yeah, so that's why I'd say you probably wouldn't know anybody for that one. So
Yeah.
But that was all of the questions for this tag. Thank you for doing this one.
No problem.
Apologize that it is so long, because it is like a minute away from being an hour.
Yeah, plus I like to talk a lot, so that didn't help it.
So, apologize for that, but you got to learn more about him. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed, and we will see you in another tag video another time. Bye guys.